Hi, and welcome to the Voice of Bold Business Radio. I am your host, Jess Dewell. As promised earlier in our previous episode, we want to make sure that you have all of the learning tidbits you can from Meridith Elliott Powell. And I have to say, thank you to Scott, because he came up with a fabulous idea to share with you a program that I did as part of the You've Got This Online Summit in 2014 when I first talked to Meridith Elliott Powell. Yeah, my first conversation was, oh man, can you believe it's been almost 4 years ago now, 3.5 years, probably more precise. And the thing is, Meridith talks about winning in the trust and value economy and what that means. And really, it comes down to the stuff we've always known. Things are changing. We're not quite sure how they're changing. They're changing faster than we can recognize. Yet, when we stop, when we listen, when we watch and learn and ask questions of our clients and customers, it's amazing what we can find out. And it's amazing how we can best serve them with technology changes, with expectations of how things should work, with, you name it, whatever the case may be with you, the things that change in your business, recognizing how more important those things are than ever before to customers and talking about them more, as well as understanding how things are changing. Maybe they're not as important because of other things going on in other parts of your clients' businesses. It's through listening, the relationship building, that we have the ability to win in the trust and value economy. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Voice of Bold Business, the show that provides everything smart leaders need to evaluate situations, build relationships, and create solutions. Jessica Dewell candidly talks about the skills necessary to build tenacity and do more with less. And now, here's Jessica.
Welcome back. I want to introduce you to Meridith before you listen to our program from the You've Got This Online Summit right out of our archives. Meridith Elliott Powell has been voted one of the top 15 business growth experts to watch by Currency Fair, and Meridith Elliott Powell is an award-winning author, keynote speaker, and business strategist, as well as the author of 4 books. With background in corporate sales and leadership, her career expands over several industries, including banking, healthcare, and finance. Her high energy and high interactive programs, in her keynotes, workshops, and innovative coaching programs, Meridith helps leaders and business owners learn the new rules of success today. She has a cutting-edge message rooted in real-life examples and real-work knowledge. I'm so glad to share this from our vault with you.
Here's what I am most passionate about, is this is a great economy and an economy you truly can be successful in. It's the reason I wrote the book, Winning in the Trust and Value Economy. And this book is based on the fact that I noticed in 2008, for anybody out there who doesn't remember, but 2008 is that pivotal point when the economy really started to go in what we called those terms in that time when it went down. And basically what I started to notice was that some companies were doing incredibly well while some companies were going in the tank. And there seemed to be no middle ground. Either you were doing well or you were not doing well at all. You were going backwards. And so I started to study those companies that were doing well, and what we're going to discuss today are exactly what I learned from them so that you can immediately put strategies into place that can make this economy start working for you. 3 must-have strategies to make this economy work for you. The first thing you need to understand is how many times have you heard this economy is down? We hear it all the time, everywhere we go. People are talking about the fact that this economy is down. Well, the first thing that you need to understand is this economy isn't down. What it is different. Let me repeat that. This economy is not down. What it is different. Radically changed. We have literally gone through an economic shift. Economists agree They say we have shifted out of what is an old economy and into what is called a new economy. Literally, we have left what's called a push economy and moved into a pull economy. And don't worry, I'm not about to give you an Econ 101 lesson. The only thing that you need to understand about the difference between this old economy and this new economy is that when you leave a push economy and move into a pull economy, the consumer becomes in control. They are driving the buying cycle. They have all the decision-making power. Now, I want you to think about this. Globalization, advancements in technology, increased competition. Every single person listening right now could stay home for the next week. We could sit around in our sweatpants, our pajamas. We could sit around naked if we wanted to for the next week and Google until our heart is content and have everything we need, everything we want, everything we desire delivered right to our door. We can buy products and services online. We can get groceries. We can buy a car. We can make friends online. We can get a date online. We can get married online. We could get divorced all without ever opening our mouths, all without ever taking a bath. That right there changes everything. That changes for those of us who are in business, selling products and services, the very fact that people do not have to leave their homes or even pick up the telephone to interact with us, that changes everything. It makes what we sell, what we offer, a commodity. But how we do it, that has become our competitive advantage. No matter how unique, how incredible, how whatever you think your product or service is, to the average consumer, it's become a commodity. So what you do is not nearly as important as to how you do it. And if you want to win, if you want to set yourself up to succeed in the trust and value economy, then the first thing that you need to understand is that there are 3 strategies that make winning in this economy fun, easy, and incredibly effective. 3 very valuable strategies that you need to know so that you stop focusing on what you do and focus far more on how you do it. So if you're ready, let's jump in and let's talk about strategy 1. If you have ever seen the television show Mad Men, then you have seen a push economy at its best. I love Mad Men because Mad Men actually really represents a time when business and advertising and organizations and companies were in 100% control. For those of you who have not seen the show, it's basically a show set in originally the 1950s or in the 1970s. Now we know that because the clothes have gotten really bad. But when the show started out, it's basically about an advertising company in New York City who is in charge of getting incredible messaging out to people to sell products and services. And it was back in the day when you would slap a bra on a woman and make her believe she could look like Jane Mansfield, or get men to put a little bit of goo in their hair and called it Brill cream, and they believed women would come running. You could make up anything you wanted, push it out in a message, and people would come running to buy the products or services. Or if Mad Men's too far back for you, all you have to do is go back to 2004. 2004 was the last time that the economy was really running on high. And for those of us who were in business in 2004, you remember those good old days? You just had to open the doors, sit there, fat, dumb, and happy, and people came in just dying to buy products and services from you. Well, wake up, because those days are gone, and they're gone forever, and for far more than truth in advertising. They're gone because this economy has shifted. And just like we've gone from a push economy into a pull, you have to let go of those old sales techniques that are aggressive, that are getting you to push people to do business with you. The first step that you need to take is you need to pull people to do business with you. Step one is to pull, don't push. People need to have heard of you before you ever knock on their door to do business with you. Buying today has become like shopping in the cereal aisle of the grocery store. We are overwhelmed. And you know, any of you who have ever been in that aisle, it is the worst aisle because from the cash register all the way to the chicken is everything you can ever imagine a company could come up with to do with a cornflake. So what do? You grab the cornflake you recognize and you run as fast as you can to the frozen food. You have got to be that cornflake that jumps off the shelf. Whatever it is that you sell, in those sea of competitors, you have got to stand out. So step one is you've got to pull people to you. Don't push them, because at the beginning of the buying cycle, the consumer is in control. They are driving the boat. And if you come on too fast, at any moment they feel uncomfortable, they're going to be out of there going to your competitors. So in pull, don't push. Build the relationship first. Really invest in listening, understanding, and getting to know your prospects and customers. So step one to win in the trust and value economy is pull, don't push. Now, once you are pull people to you and you have this amazing reputation, isn't it funny that our whole lives our mother told us not to get a reputation? Now it's all about having a reputation. But once you've got that reputation out there, people are talking about you and saying, if you need to buy this service, you need to go see my friend so-and-so. Once you have built that reputation and people feel pulled to do business with you, the next thing you've got to do is really connect. You've got to plug in to the power of connection. We're still in slow motion here. You really have to allow the relationship to build. Teddy Roosevelt once said that the most important ingredient in success is your ability to get along and to connect with people. Let me tell you that Teddy Roosevelt would have done extremely well in the trust and value economy. Because if you want to win, if you want to succeed, you have got to connect with people. At the end of the day, buying and building your business is emotional. I don't care what gadget, what anything that you've got on your products and services, if people don't like you in a pull economy, they are not going to do business with you. They may buy one product or service, but you're going to build your business the hard way. If you bother to slow down, if you bother to connect, then people are going to not only repeat business with you, but they're going to refer business with you. Plugging into the power of connection. Connection is one of those words that drives me absolutely crazy because we've treated it like a step in the business growth cycle. It's not a step, it's not a task, it's an actual emotional exchange between two people. And as the person in control, as the person trying to build the relationship, you have to understand the connection isn't 1, 2, 3, you connect. It's going to be different with different people. But if you bother to connect with people, if you bother to plug in, it's the tipping point at which your customer, your prospect, is making the decision as to whether they want to do business with you. And plugging into the power connection is really easy. It's about asking questions, about listening, and responding to what it is that your customer or prospect really, really needs. This just happened to my husband yesterday. My husband is a dentist, and he had a situation where he had actually referred a patient out to another healthcare provider. And the patient came back through the door. And the reason she came back through the door was she said, "Can't you do this procedure for me? Because I feel like I matter here. This feels like home to me." Can you imagine about a dental office saying it feels like home? I mean, that is how powerful connection is. And connection is so easy. It's about listening to people. And our world has gotten crazy right now. It is full of white noise. And people feel like so much is being pushed at them. Slow it down. Listen to people. Ask them great questions. Really learn about them. And a beautiful thing's going to happen. They're going to tell you exactly what it is they need, exactly what it is they want. And when you fulfill that need with your product or service, you're going to be a hero. And you're going to slip to step 3. So we are pulling our customers and our prospects to us. We are plugging in to the power of connection. And step 3 is you just need to add value. Really add value. This is where you start to push. You have pulled people to you, and the trust is built. After you connect, I believe in you. Plugging into the power of value is about providing value and providing the other things that your products and services can benefit to your customers and your prospects. You know, the crazy thing about value is that it's unique to everybody. I always find it funny that people will tell you they can't afford health insurance while you're watching their big screen television, or that people will drive by a golf course where they could pay $30 for a round of golf on their way to a country club that they pay $100,000 to belong to. What is that? That is because we pay for what we believe has value. And your job as a business owner is to understand what value is to your customer or your prospect, and then offer them opportunity. It's not their job to tell you how to use your product or service. It's your job to understand their dreams, their ambitions, their opportunities, and their challenges, and use the value that your products and services can add in order to help them achieve their goals. So if you want to win, if you want to succeed, if you want to make this economy start working for you, it's really pretty simple. Not easy, but simple. You've just got to set yourself up to win in the trust and value economy by first pulling people to you, not pushing. Slow the business development cycle down. Work on your reputation. And I know there are going to be some great things on this summit. They're going to tell you how to get your messaging out there, how to stand out from the crowd, how to be the provider of choice. So you want to build that reputation and build your wow factor. You need to be that cornflake that jumps off the shelf, the one that people are talking about and the one that people have heard of. Then, once you do interact with your prospects, slow it down again and plug in to the power of connection. Get to know your clients. Get to know who they are, what's important to them, and most of all, listen. Really listen. And lastly, once you do have them, once that trust is built, understand if you're not proactively engaging with them, if you're not proactively offering products and services, then you're not adding value. And you're going to actually break the trust that you have worked so hard to build. The worst thing that can happen with an existing client of yours or customer is for have them find out about a product or service that you offer from one of your competitors. Your job, once you've built that relationship and built that trust, now's the time to be aggressive. Now the time is to add value because they actually are looking for you to do that. This is the age of learning. This is the age when you really can win in the trust and value economy. Learn about yourself and how to build your reputation. What is of value to you and what message do you need to get out there? Learn about your customers, who they are, and what's important to them, who they are personally, and then continue to learn about their businesses, where they're going, where they're headed, what challenges they're facing, and use your product or services to help them get there. I know you can win in the trust and value economy. All you have to do is pull, don't push, plug into the power of connection, and continue to add value. You can make this economy start working for you. I know you can.
You are listening to program 108 on the Voice of Bold Business, where we are talking with Meridith Elliott Powell in her program from the Vault called Win in the Trust and Value Economy. I really liked what you were saying about customers and that customers have a choice. What were some of the landmark pieces or trends that you noticed that really allowed you to identify that shift into the customer started having that choice and that power?
So I'll tell you, the biggest trend that I saw when I started studying businesses was that businesses that had prioritized customer experience, who had truly brought it into the center of the boardroom. And it was something where the language of the customer or client, whatever verbiage you use, even patient, people maybe in healthcare out there, but when I went into boardrooms or team meetings and the customer conversation was present versus it wasn't. So imagine you walk into a meeting and the leader is talking all about goals and all about numbers. He told me they didn't understand that their company had gone through an economic shift versus companies that had really moved that conversation into the boardroom. Because then what happened was when I started looking at that, I thought, well, what is that? And what I saw was customers gravitating to an experience, not a product or service. Very much so gravitating to an experience, not a product or service. And then I even noticed it with myself. A couple of years ago, it was probably more like 2009, I'd been getting my hair cut at the same place for years. And my hairdresser and I had gotten into this routine. I always took the first appointment of the day because she always ran late, and if I came at 12, we'd be half an hour behind. So I'd meet her there at 9 o'clock. She wouldn't show up until 10 after. The gentleman who owned the place would let me in. I'd go make my next appointment. I'd sit in the chair. I'd start the coffee, and we were in this routine. And then one morning, I was actually shooting video the next day, and I'd let her know I was shooting video, so I had to get my hair done. And I got there. Barely had a snow. And I got there, and the shop was closed. And she emailed me later in the day and said, oh, I forgot to take your phone number home. Now, I had been her client for like 10 years. And all of a sudden it hit me. I thought, why am I putting up with this? I don't have to. I pass so many places to get my hair cut on the way to her. And you notice it within yourself. Just everybody who watches the summit, watch yourself go to a restaurant. If you don't like it, you're out of there. That was not your behavior 5 or 7 years ago. We're almost kind of getting drunk with our own power because it doesn't matter. You don't like anything, you're out of there. So, what I started to notice when I really started studying businesses was the CEOs who didn't consider customer experience a soft skill were seeing it hit the bottom line. Those who were still focused on even pushing their own associates to develop business were the ones who were falling behind.
And that makes me think of, we hear, and it doesn't matter which person you listen to or business development process that you follow, it's all about the numbers, it's all about results, and it's all about how do we do this, this, and this, and this. Well, what I'm hearing you say is that it's all about the experience. How do we quantify or think about experience in a way that we can actually turn around and measure some sort of an ROI in a sense that helps bridge the gaps if we're in a culture that there is a gap between the old and the new, or something along the lines of, I'm just starting out, or I'm not seeing the results I want in my business, so what can I do? What can I do to make sure that my results and what I'm trying to measure are related to the experience I'm trying to deliver?
Great question. The path to profitability lies through the customer. The only way to get there, okay? And you really need to understand that in this economy. At the same time, hey, I run a small business. I have to produce results. I can't just say to, the bills that I own, the people that I owe money to, well, I'm sorry, I'm really working on the customer experience. We all have to produce a result. So let me answer this a couple of ways. If you're working in a culture that is 100% focused on the numbers, so it's all that you're getting from leadership is how much did you produce? Basically, that is a fair question. What you want to do, it isn't, again, what you do, it's how you do it. So I'm going to answer this a couple of ways. One is, if you're just starting out, you've got to niche to expand. I mean, here's a newsflash. You're not right for every type of business, and every type of business isn't right for you. So you really need to look at, even if you only have 2 customers right now, who do you enjoy doing business with, and who are you succeeding with? Start small. Start with your referral sources. Keep it tiny, because you are not your best salesperson. Those people buying from you are. Because here's what's going to happen. I come in and I tell you and Nora how great I am. You don't care. You're going to turn around and ask somebody that I've done business with to say, how great is Nora? I mean, how great is Meridith? I am on here because Nora told you I'm good, not because I told you I'm good. So really start tiny and create an amazing experience for those few customers that you've got. And really ask people a lot of questions. If you ask people questions, they will tell you what they need. You will be able to sell them things and get a product or service across and produce ROI, because they're going to tell you what it is that they need. The last thing I'm going to tell you is that you need to treat business growth and business development like a lifestyle. It's not a task. It is something you have to do each and every day, all the time. Now, don't let that freak you out, because all I am talking about is, believe me, nobody hated sales more than I did. Nobody did, and I love it now. So do it my way, and you will love it. But anyway, my husband always says I went into business for myself so I could tell people what to do, and if they don't do it, I quit. But I promise you, I can get anybody to love to sell and to love to grow a business, because all I'm asking you to do is go out and really genuinely be interested in learning about people. So sometimes when I sell, it's not even for my business. I connect somebody to another business. So in a nutshell, even if you're working for a company that is 100% numbers oriented, if you do it their way, you're not going to get ROI anyway. The path to profitability is through the customer, engaging them, understanding. But I promise you, promise, if you listen, they will tell you what it is that they need. And when they tell you what it is they need, you turn around and you deliver it, and they go out and tell their friends about you. The power of trusting your instincts is that if you are coming from a place of good intention, you know when you are in front of somebody whether you can truly help them or whether you can't. And don't worry about that. Trust your instinct. More often than not, I have been in front of somebody, and I just know this relationship isn't going to work. I'm not really going to be able to make this customer or this prospect happy. Yet out of fear, I grab the business because I've got to have the business, and I end up in something that turns out not to be profitable for me, not to be value add for me or for the customer. Have faith that if you treat business growth as a lifestyle, not a task, you really go out and genuinely listen to people. You follow the 3 steps that we talked about, you're going to be winning in this trust and value economy. I promise you. I see it happen with every single one of my clients. But have the guts to listen to yourself, to go for the ask when you need to, and to pass on it when you don't.
That is one of those internal, those hardest things that we do. And sometimes we do that in other parts of our lives that aren't business too. So it's
yes, absolutely. My mission is to help people in business growth come from a place of power rather than a place of need. And you really can. And trusting your instinct is a big part of that.
Well, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it's your choice to take action, and it's your choice to decide which actions that you want to take. So listen to the 3 strategies that Meridith shared. Listen to the fact that she hears and watches companies struggle by overwhelming their customers. And the thing is, maybe the most important thing is that all we can do that gives us the greatest leg up in every aspect of our life is to continue our quest for lifelong learning. That one's near and dear to my heart too. So you've listened. You may have even watched here on YouTube. You're listening on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and several others. Make sure that you subscribe to the program. Tell us what you think. Have the next program that air Tuesdays and Fridays delivered directly to your listening queue. Let's get you this information. Let's just have us automatically play when you're ready to hear, because what can I say? I'm definitely biased. This is a cool show. I'm definitely biased because I love the people that come on this show and they have something to share. And I know that because I also know that you have a choice of where to spend your time, and you spend your time listening to this program. And I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for making our program continuously evolve and grow and deliver what you need to be a solutions-based, strong decision maker for effective leadership today. All right, you can find all the program notes at voiceofboldbusiness.com/P108. Yeah, that's voiceofboldbusiness.com/P for program 108. You can also search the site Win in the Trust and Value Economy. You can also search for Meridith Elliott Powell, and you'll see all of the shows that she has done with us. All right, I want to know, and I know Meridith wants to know, what are you doing to build trust and win in today's trust and value economy?
Subscribe at thevoiceofboldbusiness.com and get more information, program notes, and past episodes. Bold leaders approach each situation and focus on action to achieve a higher level of leadership. Jessica Dewell, your business advocate, is the host of the Voice of Bold Business Radio. Thank you for joining us.